Listen up, folks, because we're about to take a journey through Oprah Winfrey's farm retreat in Maui. While most know her as a media mogul and television icon, few realize this billionaire has been quietly building one of the most impressive working farms in Hawaii. From a modest 163-acre purchase that launched her agricultural journey to a sprawling 1,000-acre paradise that produces some of the island's finest organic crops, this isn't just a celebrity's vacation home. It's a testament to sustainable farming done right. Today, we're uncovering the remarkable story of Oprah's Maui sanctuary, including the rare and exotic fruits she grows. High on the slopes of Haleakala, where the air cools the higher you climb and the volcanic soil turns rich with nutrients, Oprah has created something truly special. 1,000 acres of farmland, gardens, and orchards that have turned her retreat into one of the most extraordinary private estates in America. Most people figured she would do what any billionaire does with prime Hawaiian real estate, build a lavish compound surrounded by decorative gardens. But she didn't. She created a working farm that actually produces food, not a hobby plot, not something for photographs, a genuine agricultural operation that honors the land's heritage while feeding the local community. She frequently refers to growing food and tending her land as feeling like coming home, a nod to her childhood on a small farm in Mississippi where her grandmother grew everything from roots to remedies. Gardening at her Maui property reconnects her to that heritage and nurtures her soul. Her Maui estate isn't just a decorative haven, it's a working organic farm. She cultivates a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, and herbs, embracing sustainable farming and valuing local produce in a region that imports most of its food. Oprah loves sharing the joy of her garden. She often showcases her bounty, from tomatoes and kale to avocados, and is visibly delighted by harvesting foods she personally nurtured. In her own words, she says, "I love being in my garden, cultivating the most delicious organic fruits and vegetables. Radishes as big as your head. The land gives and gives. It restores my soul." Let's dig into what makes this farm so remarkable, from the forgotten heirloom vegetables that thrive in its volcanic soil to the sustainable practices that have transformed this slice of paradise into a model for modern farming. The initial purchase. Back in 2003, when Oprah first purchased her initial 163 acres in Maui's upcountry region, the property was nothing like what you see today. The land sits between 3,500 and 4,000 feet on the slopes of Haleakala volcano, where the climate creates perfect growing conditions, cool mornings, gentle afternoon rain, and rich volcanic soil that plants absolutely love. What most people don't realize is that Oprah didn't just buy this land for its views. She saw potential where others might have seen just another luxury development opportunity. Over the years, she quietly expanded her holdings, eventually purchasing an additional 870 acres of adjacent farmland, bringing her total to nearly 1,000 acres, roughly the size of New York's Central Park. In Hawaii, where prime land typically becomes resorts or luxury subdivisions, Oprah went the opposite direction. She dedicated this vast property to agriculture and conservation, preserving it for something that feeds people rather than just entertaining them. Drive the upcountry roads today and you'll see fields of vegetables and fruit orchards where you might expect golf courses or hotel complexes. Rare avocado varieties. The first crop that might surprise you is avocados, but not just any avocados. Oprah's farm specializes in rare Hawaiian varieties that you'll never find in your local supermarket. The Charwil avocado, considered by many chefs to be the finest avocado in the world, thrives in Maui's volcanic soil. Unlike the common Hass avocados most Americans know, Charwils have a rich, nutty flavor and an oil content that makes them incredibly buttery. These avocados have a thinner skin and smaller seed, giving you more of that creamy flesh we all love. The farm also grows the rare Kahala'u avocado, a Hawaiian variety with smooth, green skin and a distinctive pear shape. These avocados can weigh up to 2 pounds each and have an exceptionally high oil content that gives them an almost custard-like texture. Unlike commercial varieties bred for shipping durability, Kahala'u avocados are harvested only when perfectly ripe, resulting in a flavor complexity that mass-produced avocados simply can't match. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of reed avocados, a variety that remains green even when ripe and can grow to the size of a softball. These round avocados have a thick, pebbly skin that protects their creamy, pale green flesh. What makes Reed avocados special is their ability to remain on the tree for months after ripening without deteriorating, creating a natural storage system that extends the harvest season well beyond what's possible with other varieties. Heritage tomatoes. Remember those deep red, intensely flavorful tomatoes your grandparents grew? The kind that made store-bought varieties taste like cardboard in comparison? That's what Oprah is cultivating here. Her farm grows over 15 varieties of heirloom tomatoes, including the Cherokee Purple, Brandywine, and the nearly forgotten Mortgage Lifter. Beyond these better-known heirlooms, the farm grows several varieties that have nearly disappeared from American gardens. The Radiator, Charlie's Yellow Mortgage Lifter, a golden version of the original with a milder, less acidic flavor, thrives in Maui's climate. The German Johnson, an Amish heirloom with rich, complex flavor and few seeds, produces abundantly here. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of green zebra tomatoes, an heirloom variety with striking green and yellow striped skin and a bright, tangy flavor that makes it perfect for fresh eating. What makes these tomatoes exceptional isn't just their varieties, but how they're grown. Rather than the conventional approach of planting in straight rows, Oprah's farm uses a polyculture system where tomatoes are interplanted with basil, marigolds, and nasturtiums that naturally repel pests while enhancing flavor. Each plant is hand-pruned to maximize airflow and sunlight, reducing disease pressure while increasing yield and flavor intensity. Exotic citrus collection. Hawaii's climate is perfect for growing citrus, and Oprah's farm takes full advantage of this. Beyond the common lemons and limes, her orchards include Meyer lemons, Kaffir limes, Tahitian limes, and the rare Hawaiian Rangpur lime, a tangerine lemon hybrid with a distinctive orange flesh and intensely sour flavor that chefs prize for its unique taste profile. The farm's citrus collection includes several varieties that most Americans have never tasted. The yuzu, a Japanese citrus that looks like a small grapefruit with uneven skin, produces a uniquely aromatic juice that's essential in Japanese cuisine but nearly impossible to find fresh in American markets. The Buddha's hand citron, with its finger-like projections that resemble a hand, contains no juice or pulp but produces intensely fragrant zest used in high-end cocktails and desserts. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of Australian finger limes, sometimes called citrus caviar, for the tiny pearl-like juice vesicles that pop in your mouth when eaten. These slender fruits, about the size of a finger, contain juice pearls that can be pale green, pink, or even burgundy, depending on the variety. Chefs prize these for their burst-in-the-mouth texture and bright, clean flavor that adds both visual interest and taste to seafood dishes and desserts. What makes the citrus collection particularly remarkable is its diversity. Over 25 varieties grow on the farm, creating a living library of citrus genetics that helps preserve varieties that might otherwise disappear from cultivation. Each tree is carefully tended using organic methods with compost tea applications and beneficial insect releases, replacing the chemical sprays that commercial citrus typically requires. Forgotten root vegetables? Sweet potatoes are a staple here, but not the orange varieties most Americans know. Oprah's farm grows purple Okinawan sweet potatoes, a variety brought to Hawaii by Japanese immigrants in the 1800s. These potatoes have a striking purple flesh, a chestnut-like flavor, and contain anthocyanins, the same antioxidants found in blueberries. The farm also cultivates the nearly forgotten salsify, sometimes called the oyster plant, for its subtle seafood-like flavor when cooked. These long, parsnip-like roots with white flesh were once a winter staple in American kitchens but have nearly vanished from our food culture. Alongside salsify grows its close relative scorzonera, or black salsify, with dark skin covering white flesh that doesn't discolor when cut, a trait that made it prized in traditional European cooking. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of oke, a South American tuber related to wood sorrel that produces small, colorful potatoes in shades of pink, red, yellow, and even purple, with contrasting eyes. These knobby tubers have a unique lemony flavor when eaten raw that transforms to a sweet, starchy taste similar to sweet potatoes when cooked. Nearly unknown in North America, OCA was once the second most important root crop in the Andes after potatoes. The farm also grows Jerusalem artichokes, sunchokes, the knobby tubers of a native North American sunflower that were a staple food for indigenous peoples. These crunchy tubers have a sweet, nutty flavor similar to water chestnuts when raw, and develop a rich artichoke-like flavor when cooked. What makes them special is their carbohydrate profile. They store energy as inulin rather than starch, making them suitable for diabetic diets and creating a unique texture that chefs prize. Tropical fruit paradise. While many visitors to Hawaii are familiar with pineapples and papayas, Oprah's farm grows fruits that even many locales rarely see. Lychees, longans, and rambutans, all members of the soapberry family, thrive in the farm's microclimate. These fruits, with their spiky or bumpy exteriors and sweet, translucent flesh, were once considered exotic luxuries, but grow abundantly here. The farm's collection includes several fruits that remain virtually unknown to most Americans. The jaboticaba, a Brazilian fruit that grows directly on the trunk and branches of the tree rather than on twigs, produces grape-like berries with thick purple skin and sweet white pulp. The black sapore, sometimes called chocolate pudding fruit for its rich brown flesh with a flavor reminiscent of chocolate custard, thrives in protected areas of the property. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of rollinia, a Brazilian relative of the cherimoya that produces softball-sized fruits covered in soft, fleshy spines. When ripe, the creamy white flesh tastes like lemon meringue pie with hints of caramel and banana. What makes these tropical fruits special isn't just their exotic nature, but how they're integrated into the farm's ecosystem. Rather than being grown in monoculture orchards, they're planted in diverse food forests that mimic natural ecosystems. Tall fruit trees provide dappled shade for smaller understory plants, while ground covers protect soil and harbor beneficial insects. This approach creates resilient growing systems that require minimal intervention while producing abundant harvests. Ancient Hawaiian crops. Oprah's farm connects directly to Hawaii's agricultural heritage. Long before European contact, native Hawaiians developed sophisticated farming systems perfectly adapted to the island's diverse microclimates. Oprah's farm honors this tradition by growing traditional Hawaiian crops like kalo taro, wala sweet potato, and maya banana, using methods inspired by ancient practices. The farm's taro patch is particularly noteworthy. Taro, a starchy root vegetable that was the staple food of ancient Hawaiians, grows partially submerged in flowing water. The farm has restored traditional loai, taro patties, that use gravity-fed irrigation systems similar to those built by native Hawaiians centuries ago. Beyond the common varieties, the farm grows rare Hawaiian taro cultivars like the Lehua maoli, with its distinctive red stems, and the Mana lauloa, with its massive corms that can weigh up to 10 pounds when mature. Another traditional crop grown on the farm is Avocado, a member of the pepper family whose roots were used to make a ceremonial drink in ancient Hawaii. The farm grows several varieties, including the prized Mahakea awa, with its light-colored roots and balanced effects. While not grown for commercial production, these plants help preserve cultural knowledge about this important ceremonial plant. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of Hawaiian sugarcane varieties. Unlike the commercial canes that once dominated Hawaii's agricultural landscape, these traditional varieties were selected for their sweet juice and soft fiber, making them perfect for chewing as a treat. Varieties like Manulela, with its distinctive red-striped stalks, and Kokia, with its pale green stems and exceptionally sweet juice, provide living examples of crops that were once common in Hawaiian gardens but have become increasingly rare. Rare berries and small fruits. These include varieties that your grandparents would have instantly recognized. Gooseberries, currants, and elderberries all thrive in the farm's higher elevation areas where they receive the winter chill they need to produce fruit. The farm grows several varieties of gooseberries, including the heirloom Pixwell, with its translucent green berries that turn pink when ripe, and the Hinonmaki Red, with its sweet tart flavor, perfect for pies and preserves. Black, red, and white currants produce abundantly here. Their intensely flavorful berries are packed with vitamin C and antioxidants. Perhaps most remarkable is the farm's collection of elderberries. These dark purple berries, once commonly grown for their immune-boosting properties and distinctive flavor, have experienced a revival of interest during recent health trends. Oprah's farm grows several varieties, including the American elderberry, Sambucus canadensis, and the European black elderberry, Sambucus nigra, harvesting the fragrant flower clusters in spring for elderflower cordial and the berries in late summer for syrups and wine. The farm also grows several berries that remain virtually unknown to most Americans. The goji berry, a bright red berry from Asia known for its antioxidant properties, thrives in the farm's drier areas. The Chilean guava, a small evergreen shrub that produces tiny aromatic berries with a complex flavor reminiscent of strawberries, blueberries, and candy, grows in protected areas. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of wineberries, an Asian raspberry relative with bright red, translucent fruits covered in sticky red hairs that naturally deter insects, allowing them to be grown without pesticides. Exotic vegetables and greens. Beyond the common kale and lettuce, the farm grows vegetables that most Americans have never tasted but that are staples in other culinary traditions. Gai lan, Chinese broccoli, with its thick stems and small florets, thrives in the cool upland climate. Mizuna, a Japanese mustard green with feathery leaves and a mild peppery flavor, grows abundantly here. Shungiku, the edible chrysanthemum greens used in Japanese hot pots, adds its distinctive aroma to the farm's harvest. The farm also grows several vegetables that were once common in American gardens but have nearly disappeared from our tables. Cardoon, a thistle relative of the artichoke, grown for its edible stalks rather than its flower buds, produces abundantly in the farm's Mediterranean-like climate. A perennial root vegetable that was popular in medieval Europe for its sweet, parsnip-like roots, thrives in the farm's rich soil. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of keltus, sometimes called stem lettuce or asparagus lettuce, grown not for its leaves but for its thick, crisp stem with a flavor reminiscent of lettuce hearts with nutty overtones. What makes these vegetables special is how they connect different culinary traditions, creating a living library of food plants from around the world. Many were brought to Hawaii by immigrant communities, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, Filipino, who came to work on the island's plantations and brought their food plants with them. By preserving these crops, the farm helps maintain the cultural diversity that makes Hawaii's food scene so rich and varied. Medicinal and culinary herbs. Beyond common herbs like basil and rosemary, the farm grows plants that have been used for centuries in traditional healing systems around the world. Ashwagandha, an adaptogenic herb from Ayurvedic medicine known for its stress-reducing properties, thrives in the farm's well-drained soil. Holy basil, tulsi, another Ayurvedic herb prized for its immune-supporting properties, grows abundantly here, its clove-scented leaves harvested regularly for teas and tinctures. The farm also cultivates herbs that were once common in American gardens but have fallen out of favor. Lovage, with its intense celery-like flavor and hollow stems once used as natural straws, grows to impressive heights in the rich volcanic soil. Sweet sisal, an anise-flavored herb that was used to sweeten dishes before sugar became widely available, thrives in partially shaded areas. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of hyssop, a Mediterranean herb mentioned in the Bible that produces spikes of blue flowers and aromatic leaves used in liqueurs, teas, and traditional medicines. What makes the herb collection particularly special is how it preserves traditional knowledge about plant medicine. Many of these herbs were once grown in every household garden, providing remedies for common ailments before pharmaceutical medicine became the norm. By maintaining these plants and the knowledge of how to use them, the farm helps keep alive traditions that connect us to generations past. Rare edible flowers. Beyond the common nasturtiums and pansies, the farm grows flowers that add unique flavors and visual appeal to dishes. Szechuan buttons, also called toothache plant, produce small yellow and red flower buds that create a tingling electric sensation in the mouth, followed by a numbing effect, a sensation prized by adventurous chefs for cocktails and desserts. The farm also grows several flowers that were once common in American kitchens but have become culinary rarities. Borage, with its star-shaped blue flowers that taste remarkably like cucumber, thrives in the farm's rich soil. Society garlic, with its lavender pink blooms that offer a mild garlic flavor without the lingering aftertaste, grows in ornamental borders throughout the property. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of yucca flowers. The creamy white blooms of this desert plant have a delicate artichoke-like flavor when sautéed and were a traditional food of indigenous peoples in the American Southwest. What makes these edible flowers special is how they blur the line between ornamental and food gardens, creating beautiful landscapes that are also productive. Rather than segregating flowers to decorative areas, they're integrated throughout the farm, attracting beneficial insects while providing harvests that add color, flavor, and visual interest to meals. Ancient grains and pseudocereals. Oprah's farm has an extraordinary collection of ancient grains and pseudocereals, crops that were staples for ancient civilizations but have been largely replaced by modern wheat, corn, and rice. Amaranth, a grain cultivated by the Aztecs that nearly disappeared after Spanish colonization, grows abundantly here. Its tiny seeds, packed with protein and minerals, can be popped like popcorn or cooked like a grain, while its nutritious leaves are harvested as a spinach alternative. The farm also grows several grains that were once common in American agriculture but have become rare. Emmer, also known as farro, is an ancient wheat variety that predates modern bread wheat by thousands of years. Its nutty flavor and chewy texture make it perfect for grain salads and soups. Einkorn, the most ancient form of cultivated wheat, thrives in areas of the farm with poorer soil, a trait that made it valuable to ancient farmers who couldn't rely on fertilizers or irrigation. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of Job's tears, an ancient grain from Southeast Asia that produces pearl-like seeds with a hole through the middle, traditionally used for both food and beads. The farm grows both the hard-seeded variety used for beadwork and the soft-seeded variety cultivated for its nutritious, barley-like grain that makes exceptional risotto and grain bowls. What makes these ancient grains special is their connection to agricultural history and their exceptional nutritional profiles. Many contain higher levels of proteins, minerals, and antioxidants than their modern counterparts, which were bred primarily for yield rather than nutrition. By growing these ancient varieties, the farm helps preserve genetic diversity that may prove crucial as we adapt our food systems to changing climates. Rare legumes and pulses. Beyond common beans and lentils, the farm grows varieties that connect to culinary traditions around the world. Loblab beans, also called hyacinth beans, produce beautiful purple pods containing black and white seeds with a flavor similar to lima beans. These heat-tolerant, drought-resistant beans were once widely grown across the American South but have become rare outside of specialty gardens. The farm also cultivates several beans with deep connections to American history. The Cherokee Trail of Tears bean, carried by Cherokee people during their forced relocation in the 1830s, produces shiny black seeds with rich flavor and creamy texture. The Mayflower bean, said to have been brought to America by the Pilgrims, offers tan seeds speckled with maroon that maintain their shape when cooked, making them perfect for soups and stews. Perhaps most unusual is the farm's collection of winged beans, a tropical legume where every part is edible. The pods, leaves, flowers, seeds, and even the tubers that form on the roots. These remarkable beans, virtually unknown in American cuisine, produce square-shaped pods with 4 ruffled wings running their length. Rich in protein and able to fix nitrogen in the soil, they represent the kind of multi-purpose crop that could help address food security challenges in a changing climate. What makes these legumes special is their self-sufficiency. Like all members of the bean family, they partner with soil bacteria to capture nitrogen from the air, reducing or eliminating the need for fertilizer. This natural fertility-building capacity makes them central to the farm's sustainable approach, where they're rotated with other crops to naturally build soil health. Sustainable farming practices. What truly sets Oprah's farm apart isn't just what is grown, but how it's grown. The entire operation follows organic and regenerative principles that focus on building soil health rather than simply extracting crops from the land. Cover crops like clover, vetch, and buckwheat are planted between vegetable rotations to fix nitrogen, prevent erosion, and add organic matter to the soil. Rather than relying on synthetic fertilizers, the farm produces its own compost from crop residues, food scraps, and manure from the farm's small herd of goats. Water conservation is another priority. The farm has installed rainwater catchment systems that collect runoff from buildings and store it in tanks for use during dry periods. Drip irrigation delivers water precisely where it's needed, minimizing waste and reducing disease pressure on plants. In areas where traditional irrigation isn't practical, the farm uses ollas, unglazed clay pots buried in the soil that slowly release water directly to plant roots, an ancient technique that's perfectly suited to modern water conservation needs. Pest management follows ecological principles rather than relying on chemicals. Beneficial insects like ladybugs, lacewings, and predatory wasps are encouraged through habitat plantings. Chickens in mobile coops are rotated through orchard areas to eat insects and fertilize the soil. When pest problems do arise, the farm uses botanical solutions like neem oil and pyrethrum extracted from chrysanthemum flowers, remedies your grandmother might have used in her own garden. Oprah's Maui farm stands as a living museum of forgotten crops, preserving agricultural treasures while honoring her grandmother's Mississippi roots. In cultivating this 1,000-acre paradise, she reminds us that our greatest connection to the earth comes through what we nurture with our own hands. What do you think of Oprah's incredible farm retreat in Maui? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.